Hi, this is Carson from TCS. Today, we are demonstrating how easy it is to combine the TCS system with an existing NCE system. Integrating TCS products is a huge economic advantage, so you don't have to completely remove an entire system to get the benefits of a TCS command station and Wi-Fi throttles on an existing NCE layout. To help show you this, we visited the Lehigh and Keystone Valley Model Railroad Club in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Here's Dan to introduce you to the club's layout.
Hello, this is Dan from Train Control Systems, and today I'm joined by Anthony Raspantini, and we're at the Lehigh and Keystone Valley Club in lovely and scenic and historic Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. How are you doing today, Anthony?
Fantastic.
All right, so Anthony, we're here and we're going to be installing the TCS command station, the CS105, into your layout to demonstrate to our lovely viewers just how easy it's going to be. But before we do that, I wanted to kind of get a sense of what this layout's all about. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the history?
Well, the layout, it's about 25 years old. We've been in this building since 1996. The club's a little older than that. But the layout started out as, a bunch of guys who loved trains, loved things of the area, were really into the history. And it evolved into a museum. It is now legitimately a museum for the state of Pennsylvania. And we model basically the steelmaking process, all the things that are involved in that. The coal, which is behind our video here, you can't see. There's the Ashley breaker. We've got Bethlehem steel behind us over here. So we have that. So we're the coal, the ore, the coke, all those materials arriving at the steel plant, and then the finished products going back to the yard and then going back out to the customers like Mack Truck, who's on our layout. Mm-hmm. They're one of our big customers. It's now a functioning museum layout. It's fully signaled, fully track detected, obviously DCC. We run operating sessions on here where we depict everything as if it was in the late 60s, early 70s, like a rough, not exact dates, like we do have trains that existed in the era of that time. We love to run ops on here. We just come down and play, and everybody enjoys it and is interested in the history and keeping things alive that way. And it's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat setup we got. It's Lehigh Valley, CNJ, Reading. We do feature the LNHR. They briefly cameo on the layout. We also will feature stuff from the Delaware and Hudson. Kind of pops in here a little bit too. It run through power that would come to Allentown. So there's a lot of little tastes in the water there of different things from the area that you can see of the different railroads. And we model the main lines of the Lehigh Valley, the CNJ, and the Reading on this layout.
Okay, that's great. That's a lot to pack into such a small space. Yeah. So it's a big layout, and so that means that you need a lot of power to run this thing. This layout operates the main line. You say it's DCC. It uses NCE currently, mm-hmm. North Coast Engineering. And so you have a command station, and then how many boosters do you have?
We have 11 total boosters on this layout. And one of those boosters is just dedicated to powering all of our switch 8s with the tortoise switch machines.
Yeah, so that's a lot of juice. So it's going to probably take a while for you to financially try and talk about moving to a new booster system. So the reason why we're here today is to demonstrate that we can hook in the TCS command station, CS105, into your existing booster network, and you're still going to maintain all the features and functionality of the NCE boosters and all the power, and it costs you basically nothing, right? So we've got an adapter, the booster adapter, the BA100, and we're going to be demonstrating the process for hooking that all up in just a few minutes. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's a fantastic idea. I know we're up to quite a few people. A bunch of the members here own the TCS controllers and are absolutely fanatic about them. They love the controllers. There was a very, very minimal learning curve to picking them up because I think you guys really embraced a lot of what was good about the NCE controller and the ease of operation and brought it up to a whole new world. Even in the UWT 50s, those things are really nice too. And the members love the TCS controllers. They love that they could bring them home, bring them here. The trains run. They could keep their consist in the controller. The idea of bringing in the command station, I think, is going to be good because we can retain our NCE controllers for those who enjoy that controller more, or that really aren't apt to learning something new. We do have some members here who are older. We have ones who are special needs, and sometimes learning something new isn't always easy. So the idea of being able to maintain what we have and still grow is a really great selling point to the new command station.
Yeah, that's a great point. I was just about to say that myself, is that the command station, the CS105, also features an auxiliary cab port for wired handhelds. And currently, it actually supports NCE natively out of the box. So we're also going to be able to hook in the cab bus for your NCE system, and it'll be able to operate all the handhelds that you have. Not just the wired ones, but in addition, you can also continue to use the wireless ones. NCE's wireless is also supported just by the nature of the way that it's designed as a protocol, right? So let's get started hooking things up.
Sounds good.
All right, so now we're in the guts of the operation here. Behind this door is the CTC room for this layout. And on the table to my left here are the parts that we're going to need to change out the system. So starting over here on the left, we have the CS105, the command station. To the right, we have the programming track, main track, and LCC terminator connections. To the right of that, we've got the booster adapter. Got a power supply for the command station. We've got an NCE cable. This is one of the 6-pin ones that we're going to need for the cab bus. And then I've got an LCC cable. This is just your standard off-the-shelf Cat5. And up here to my left again, this is the booster network. So like Anthony said before, there are 11 boosters here. And the great thing is that including the command stations district, every single one of these boosters can be reused. And that's exactly what we're going to be showing. So let's get started. So to get started, the first thing that we're going to be doing is taking out the control bus and the cab bus lines. This connection up here connects this to the entire layout so that the cabs can be plugged in. And then we've got the control bus coming out of the command station here. So Anthony, if you would be so kind as to unplug both of those connections, you'll see that the status LED on all the boosters begins blinking, indicating that the command station is now in the standalone booster mode and that it is not currently receiving a signal. All of these boosters are currently idle.
Okay, so we're ready for the adapter board?
Exactly. So we're going to grab the booster adapter, and these terminals here are for the control bus for NCE. So they're a 4-pin. You can tell the difference because these have 4 and the standard cab bus connections have 6. So let's go ahead and plug that in.
Alright.
So now obviously this would be mounted in a more professional way as we go along, but for the time being we're just going to leave that hang for a moment. And then grab our Cat5 cable. We're going to plug one of those ends into the LCC jacks on the bottom. Grab the command station and connect the one cable into one of the open LCC ports. Doesn't matter which one. And now to complete the network of LCC, we need our terminators. And one of these is going to go in each one of the open ports. So one's going to go in the command station, and the other one is going to go in the booster adapter. Now the great thing about this is that the original NCE command station can be used as a booster by itself. So we don't need to use the mainline track output. And since you guys have your own dedicated programming track, which is somewhere else, we're not going to need the programming track either. And as a matter of fact, if you would choose to do so, the programming track output can be completely disabled so that an operator can't accidentally turn on the programming track, thereby turning off the main. The next thing that we're going to connect is the cab bus connection. So we're going to take one of the 6-pin connections and plug that up into the rest of the bus. And the other end gets inserted into the CS, into the auxiliary cabs port, which is here. And now, aside from the rat's nest of wires, we're basically ready. So I'll grab my power supply. Plug that into the barrel jack here. Take the AC cord. Connect that right into the wall outlet. You'll see here with the terminators that now they've got power and they've got data as indicated by these LEDs. And on the connector here, if you come around on the opposite side of the wire, you'll see that this yellow LED has now come on, indicating that there's track power. You'll also notice that every one of the boosters, the status LED is now solid, indicating that they have a good DCC signal. And that essentially completes the setup process. So let's go ahead and start running some trains.
Now we have shown you how to integrate our command station into the NCE system at the Lehigh and Keystone Valley Model Railroad Club. Let's do a quick review using a schematic to help recap the steps. First, we remove the throttle cab bus from the NCE command station. Next, we remove the cable going from the NCE command station to the booster. We are using the booster in the NCE command station as Dan explained in the video. We then introduced the CS105 command station and the B100 booster adapter. Next, we connect the booster adapter to the NCE boosters. Now we use a standard Cat5 Ethernet cable to connect the TCS booster adapter to the CS105 command station. Then we add our LCC terminators into both the booster adapter and the CS105. Next, reconnect the NCE throttle bus cable into the auxiliary port on the back of the CS105. Lastly, plug in the power supply for the TCS command station. We are ready to run trains again, using the original NCE boosters and throttles, along with using the reliable TCS Wi-Fi command station and throttles, which everybody loves. Now you see the huge economic advantage to integrate TCS products into an existing NCE system with minimal effort and without having to replace your entire system. See your TCS dealer or visit our online store to pick up your command stations, your throttles, and your booster adapter today. And thank you for watching.